Step number one, identifying your purpose. Why are you interested in wearing waist beads? Understanding the reasons why women wear waist beads, the history, the magic behind the beads. That's where this all begins. So once you're able to determine your purpose, we'll be ready to get started. So there are many reasons why people wear waist beads. One of the most common would be for weight management. This would be where ladies put them around their waist. And you usually would measure right above your navel. And when you eat a little too much, your waist beads roll up. When you're right on track with your weight, your waist beads will roll down to your hips. So this is a great way without hopping on a scale to make sure that you're managing your weight or just to adjust your weight if indeed that's something you're interested in doing. The next reason would be maturity and growth. In Africa, of course, you may know that this tradition started back in the 18th century. So many women and children would start by wrapping their waist bead around their waist as a child. And it's a great way without scales to measure if the child is healthy, if the child is growing. Also, another way would be a rites of passage from mother to children, where the mother would drape each and every bead on a strand and present it to the child as their rites of passage as they mature and move on to get married and live their beautiful lives. Another reason would be, and we call this the third, would be intimate appeal. Nowadays, you see amazing ladies. Most you see in the media, the Kardashians. You have the most famous Beyonce, who are now just being adorned by waist beads. So it's also a great way to be intimate with your significant other. And some people use it just for fashion purposes. And it stands outside of some of the original reasons for waist beads. Another fun reason to wear waist beads would be for posture. When you have waist beads around your area, around your abdominal area, it's a fun reminder to sit up straight, to stand up straight. When your waist beads roll down, it would be a reminder that, hey, this is not normally where my waist bead would lay. So let me go ahead and sit up, get more comfortable, and sit in the right position. Another would be for heritage and pride. As I mentioned, waist beads have been worn for centuries and they will be worn for many centuries to come. So a lot of pride and heritage is tied to wearing waist beads. So you really have to identify, what are your reasons? Is it to tie yourself to the amazing tradition of wearing waist beads? Would it be just to simply have your intentions tied to your waist as a reminder on a daily basis? It could simply be for maturity or growth, or would you like to gift it to someone? Or simply to adorn yourself, love yourself, manage your weight, and to maintain that body and purpose that you've set and intended for yourself. So at this point, it's really up to you to determine, why am I interested in wearing waist beads? And then you'll be ready to take the next step. So fall in love with the culture, with the magic, with the history, with the heritage, and we'll be happy to create a strand that's customized and fit just for you. So get ready. Step 2 is next, and we'll go into measurements. Step 2, measurements, arguably one of the most important steps of this process. Where do you want your waist beads to lay? You have your waistline, your high hip, or your hip. In this case, you want to grab measuring tape, and or we have the dollar bill system. This gives you the opportunity to measure around your waist to identify your exact inches. So check out my links on how to measure with either measuring tape or a dollar bill. So if it's for weight management, you want to measure above your navel. This way, as you lose weight, your waist beads drop down to your hips. Or if it's for more of a fashion piece, you can measure wherever you like. But find a place that you're most comfortable with, and we'll go from there. So remember, grab measuring tape or a dollar bill and add your measurements to the form. Be sure to let your belly hang out when you do this. Step 3, it's time to decide, will it be a permanent strand or a removable strand? Permanent strands are the traditional way to wear waist beads. You swim in them, you sleep in them, you bathe in them, and it's traditionally worn to tie your intention to your waist, and it's a reminder every single day. Oftentimes, those who decide to wear a clasp are those who need to remove their waist beads, or you can also add a clasp and never remove your waist beads. Now it's time to talk about your preference in string. So here you have the nylon string. This usually works best when you're tying on your waist bead permanently. And that means you swim in them, you bathe in them, you sleep in them, they never come off. Then we have your elastic string. This gives you a little bit more stretch. Here you can tie or add a clasp to this string. And here you just have a bit more flexibility. So remember with the permanent strand, it's really used for weight management, where when you eat a little too much, your waist beads roll up. And if indeed your goal is to manage your weight and lose weight, your waist beads will roll down. But keep in mind, if it becomes a little too tight, they do break. Or if you become pregnant or you need to make adjustments, the only way to really remove permanent strands would be to cut them. But it's also the most traditional way to wear waist beads. But then we offer the elastic strand, which would normally come with a clasp. This clasp will give you the option to remove your waist beads when you like. Okay, now step 5 is colors. The meaning of colors differ. So here's a quick chart for you to look through, determine the colors that resonate with you the most. You have your black, which is power, blue, loyalty, brown is grounded, gold is royalty, green, abundance, orange is courage, pink is love, purple, royalty, red, confident, turquoise is communication, and of course you have your white light for purity, and your yellow, which is bliss and ultimate joy. So then you want to look into charms. What type of charms resonate with you? What connects with you? Here you can add different notes to maybe what is important for you to see every single day. Another option would be your different crystals and charms and really whatever connects with you the most. So here we can play with a few options. Congratulations, you finished all 5 steps to placing your order. So here's the last and final notes you need to know before taking that final step. Number 1, once your order is placed, you will receive photos. And the photos will be tied to your form. Your form would be every single item that you've marked off on this sheet. And what I'd like to do is customize a few options for you to choose from. Once you receive those options, you will heart your favorite, and that will be the item delivered to you. Another thing you should know that we will be here with you on your first 60 days for any questions, concerns, comments, or complaints you may have to make sure that you are totally satisfied with the piece that is presented to you. Lastly, what we ask while submitting your form is that you send a PayPal payment of $25. This payment will go towards your final purchase, but this is also our goal to begin to customize your orders, and within 1 to 3 days, you'll have photos based on the description that you've submitted on your form. So again, thank you so very much for taking the time. Bliss Waist Ice Beads is more than pleased to work with you. To fill out the form, follow the directions, and you will be sure to hear back from us via your best form of communicating marked above.